Hey everybody, Roger here. Spending a lot of time in this infrared sauna nowadays, doing my part, Um, where do we start? We got advertisements to chip in to jumpstart these robots that are actually able to take over people in fast food industry. Just saw that the other day being advertised on my Twitter timeline. Um, we got Whole Foods, changing up their game as well, and we have big box stores, being able to stay open. We have small hair salon owners being put in jail or prison. I'm not sure which. I would assume jail, but who knows what kind of example our judicial system wants to set, and our the executive power set forth by these governors and mayors and stuff. Um, we have these people going to jail for 7 days, getting fined $7,000. Luckily for that hair salon owner, the last time I saw, the GoFundMe raised over $65,000 for her. So good on you for that. I really hope that helps you out in the long run. We have, as of I believe, late November last year, China was approved to start selling and shipping their chicken to the U.S. We have meat plants in the United States going down. I believe a couple million chickens were forced to be slaughtered and not sold or something in Maine. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. We supposedly have killer bees that are a lot more dangerous than, that could be deathly to a lot of people, instilling more fear into the U.S. populace. We have tech censorship. We have quite a bit of things going on that a lot of people are not waking up to, and very few are. And the word again needs to go around. This time, two big stories that happened a couple days ago. There was a mass shooting in Canada, and legislation, or I'm not sure what you would call it in Canada, but it is now illegal to own 1,500 different types of firearms. And amongst those are single-shot rifle. I mean, firearms that make absolutely no sense to ban because they just look scary. I don't know, but this looked like. Trudeau apparently is stating that the mass shooting is abhorrent, even though the weapon was illegally purchased for this mass shooting. So again, punish the law-abiding citizens. They'll have a buyback program in about 2 years that's going to give you less back than what you pay for of any of those firearms that are on that 1,500-page document, 1,500 list document. So yeah, you guys are getting handed your ass over the coals over in Canada, so I feel very sorry for you. Not to mention, you guys now have to get tested when you cross the borders up there to see, or show proof that you've been tested that you don't have COVID. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on, and the biggest one that I want to talk about today was I believe is called the George H.W. Bush Foundation or Advocacy Center. Really chastising Donald Trump's temporary immigration policy, which I hope stays permanent, saying that culture and all this and that is important. We need to not forget those people that we can help in this time. And I'm like, okay, buddy, we have millions and millions of Americans out of work right now, and you want to bring in immigrants from all over the world, mainly Mexico, but there's also a lot, that ruined shit. Last year, there was an Indian-based firm that kept changing its name that was responsible for two, I don't know what actual product they were responsible for in these Boeing 747s, but one of them was like a malfunction, a delay in an emergency warning if there was like turbulence or something. And apparently the system would crash, or it would just post that it was a danger in a couple seconds later than it should have, so it was costly. There was other things as well with another airline, and these Boeing hires these engineers from India at about $9 an hour, and they make all these mistakes. This is why I don't fear automation. I don't fear automation. I think that to an extent, they think that they're, just because I've been in the field for so long, there's a lot of people who are above you who tell you how to do things. Like me, again, I'm a programmer, developer, and I'm told how to do things. And when I would tell them, hey, no, this is the idea that I have, and I would map out why this was the better method and longevity and how we can keep the life cycle of it, comfortably while still working on other projects, yada, yada, yada. No, these owners, they think they know it all, and then they're like, oh, no, we want it done this way. And then it fucks up. And then they ask you what happened, You tell them, well, this was your idea. On a similar note, if you come up with ideas in any of your businesses, in whatever field you work, don't ever, I know a lot of people always say, oh, make it seem like your boss came up with that idea. You kind of brought it up, but make it seem like your boss or your superior, whoever that might be, your supervisor, manager, whatever, thinks that they came up with it. No. Because in the end, it's all about you getting fired and not getting credit for the stuff that you actually know. So screw that method. That's so 80s. We're not working 9 to 5. It's a different world now. No more Dolly Parton or Lily Tomlin or whatever was in it. But anyways, we have big box businesses being able to stay open. We have smaller businesses getting punished. We have people starving. We have people drinking themselves to death. We have people committing suicide. We have a lot more domestic abuse. We have we have fake figures for the COVID-19 virus. And look, I will respect people around me, but in so much they respect me. I'm not going to go out of my way to, after I've been committing myself to being healthy and whatnot, to accommodate other people. Yes, I will do my part to keep my distance 6 feet. I've been doing that. I've been doing that out of respect. I will not wear a mask. That already impedes me. That makes me less healthy. I'd rather get the disease. I'd rather get this virus. Fight it naturally, because there are a lot of natural remedies out there that are not being talked about. Everybody's gung-ho, or most everybody out there is gung-ho, mainstream pundits and everything. Even Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro is all for the vaccine. And yeah, it's everybody's like pushing for it. This new generation, mark of the beast people. But anyways, they want to, it's all becoming so evident. I think if Trump really put a needle, in the tire of their plans, of the cabal, the New World Order, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, people in power, the 1%, the 1.00001%, they have the power. But Trump getting elected by the people really hindered their plans. I have a feeling all this was orchestrated. Obviously it was. Look at what Fauci said a couple years back about a for certain pandemic that's going to be coming. He knew this. There's investments going. There's so many things wrong right now. But going back to Bush, the Bush Advocacy Center, hard word to pronounce for me. But anyways, they want more people coming in, taking our jobs while we're out of work as Americans. It's insane. No, people, please do the math here. See what's going on. If Hillary was in office, I have a feeling the floodgates would have opened. This was all planned. Us at least getting some of this supposed stimulus, which we're eventually going to be having to pay back, is just it's small pennies. And they want to bring in that competition. They're allowing big box stores to stay open because they're going to be the competitors. Little mom and pop shops, no. The people that are working there right now in the big box stores, they're going to have advantage temporarily for those positions. 5 minutes left to my sauna here. They're going to have temporary power while they're working, but then that automation starts coming in, that supposed automation that I am not afraid of. I am not afraid of it. There's always fallacies with all of these owners and bigwigs who don't even look at the intricacies of these new technologies and think that everything is good because they only can be told, tell me it's good. There's those kind of people, and not to say that there's not perfect ones out there that would be flawless, but just look at this Boeing, with what they did last year. So anyways, yeah, they're trying to cut down our wages. They're trying to undercut our living, our cost of living, our salaries. They're trying to make us into a who was that guy in 1981? I can't remember. There's a quote. He said, when people have fallen for the propaganda that we spill out, all the fake news, then we know we've accomplished the problem. accomplish the mission or whatever, and everybody is falling for it. I would say quite a bit of people, not everybody, but there's some out there who actually can read between the lines. We're the ones that are going to be their enemies, of course. We're the ones being censored on social media. We're the ones being censored as fake news on Facebook. Our fact checkers, cringe word of the day, are the ones checking all these things and proving all these people wrong. No, they want to tear down small business. They want to make us low class. I was brought up very poor. I slept on the floor all my life. I, breathed dirt, in my nose while I was sleeping because our rug couldn't be vacuumed. My mom vacuumed it with her hands. We were that poor. Do I want to change any of it? No. My parents did the best that they could. But do I want to go back to that? No. And I don't think it's about that either. I think we need to push past all of this. We need to push past all of this. Sorry, I had to turn off because it looked like it was overheating and I wanted to save that. But we have to push past all of this nonsense that they're trying to deliver to us. The feels, oh my God, all these people are dying, and then the numbers get cut in half. From 65 to 37,000 is dying of COVID, and even that is coming into question because hospitals and medical facilities get incentives. If you get diagnosed with COVID, if you get put on a ventilator, you get $20,000 more for your facilities. It's all insane. Can people not see this? Sorry, guys. I have a Note 10 Plus, and I don't use this to make videos, and I'm only in 125 degree heat, and it keeps overheating every time I make a video. So I think my older, shittier phones are a lot better than this one when it comes to the environment for use. So yeah, don't get me wrong, you can throw this thing far and hard and it won't break. So that I do like about it. The overheating aspect reminds me of an iPhone. Nope. Don't like it. So anyways, outside of that, going back to what I was saying here before the video got cut off. Yeah, I used to sleep on the floor. I knew what it was like being poor. Do we need to go back to that? No. I think the plan right now is that, we just like, I don't know if I said this in my video. I'm trying to get through this quick, but who's that guy in 1981 that famously said, we will know when the people, when they believe all the propaganda in the world that our mission has been accomplished, something to that extent, in 1980 or 81. It's happening. The majority of people these days, they believe all this propaganda shit. They're easily influenced. They're easily manipulated. And there are a lot of them. This is why I'm saying, go out there and make your videos. Go out there and make your content. Again, I think when I get on the roll with some of these videos, I'm able to do a good job. When I get off of these for a month or two or something, or a couple weeks, it's hard for me to dive back into it because it's kind of hard to talk into a camera at times. So, but you can do it. You start out and make a fool of yourself like me. I do it all the time. I don't care because eventually the message gets out there. We have these big box stores. We have billionaires, people in power who have an agenda to drive us into poverty, to make us into an impoverished world, and among other things. There's a lot of different avenues of this. I'm going to focus on this one right here. The Bush Advocacy Group, again, I can't pronounce that all that well, tongue twister, they want to stagnate our wages. They want to stagnate the wages and then bring us back down to a poverty level. They want us to beg for socialism. They want us to go into a system where we're all being taken care of. And if this Bush Foundation, whatever the advocacy group is called, has their way again and we get a flood of more immigrants into America, that's going to be worse for us, especially during this time, because that would dip our earning potentials, that would our way of life, cost of living. We would be fighting for people for lower wages, people not from America, and trying to get whatever job we can. Either that or we give up because there's so many people here and so few jobs. More automation coming to taking these jobs from poor areas, like I mentioned earlier. The robotics getting some funding for or pushing for funding for these fast food robotic workers to make your meals and stuff. It's insane. It's insane, and it's the plan's coming along. It might be a little delayed for them, but it's coming along. You guys have really got to be prepared for yourselves here. Start downloading all these videos. Start downloading videos about survival. Start downloading videos about how to stay safe. Start downloading videos about gardening. whatever area you're in or wherever you intend to go, start doing all of these things. It's never too late to prep. There are a lot of people spending their time right now watching Netflix and stuff. Yes, guilty as charged, but I don't spend a lifetime watching them. I work in the day. I have new projects coming around the corner for my financial needs, because I don't want to be relying on somebody else. I don't want to be relying on a boss. From now and in the future, I don't. I want to rely on myself. And I think the ideas that I have, the ideas that my partner has as well for his business are very good for now and the upcoming time. Please do me a favor and think outside the box with the stuff that I'm telling you right now. Again, you can research it yourself, everything that I've said in this video. You can research it all yourself. Go look online, see the automation dangers, see that these idiots on top are thinking that automation is the wave of the future. Everything's going to get chaotic. Again, I don't believe that automation fully is going to be a big threat, but it can be a partial threat, especially to the lower class. And that's where a lot of people are going to be fighting for these jobs. And everything else will be outsourced, or who knows, we don't know, we're learning along the way, but it doesn't look good for middle and lower class people at this point, and some upper middle class. Other people can survive it out for a little bit if they've planned well, but again, it's kind of unearthing for me at this point. With the things that I know from my research and where I'm at in my life right now, I want to spread this message because I appreciate my viewers. I appreciate what you guys do, the lovers and the haters. I'm throwing this out there because I care about people in general. I don't like seeing people get shafted. If I disagree with somebody about this situation right now, I still care for your safety. I still care to make sure that you have a United States of America that we knew of about 3 or 4 months ago, where anything was possible, because things are about to change and we all need to start gearing up for the worst here. Let's not make this a socialist country. Let's not let these dictatorial governors, mayors, sheriffs, police forces, whatever, let's not let them succumb to the will of orders. They have families and they have people too, and we just got to get the word out there that there's one way to go for the benefit of most of the world, and that is that's just basically allowing freedom, not control, not this power trip that all these Gates and Soroses and Rockefellers and whatnots, and Bush here in particular that I'm talking about, who wants to, make sure that this temporary program ends, for not allowing foreign workers into America. No, just be ready, people. That's all I got to say. What are your guys' thoughts? Where do you think we're at this point? All the things that I brought up right now, also too with meat coming from Africa. I think I mentioned that in my last video as well. So, our farmers here are suffering, but we're having to now get imports from foreign countries where we don't know what their food standards are. Even the FDA here is crazy. Everything is nonsense, but you got to think for yourself. The only one that can look out for you is not the government. It's yourself. So plan ahead. Try to make a move to be an independent person, and hopefully that works out for you in the end. I'd like to hear any of your ideas that you guys have. I wish you all the best. I hope a lot of you are doing well in this. It's kind of crazy for us right now as well. So, love always. You guys are great. Like, hey, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.